Well, we've had looked into that, and I don't think it'll be as bad as the railroads because we find out that the biggest loss the railroad and what was pulling their loss down more each year on the railroad was these terminals. And the cost of running these large terminals like Chicago, Washington, New York, and other large terminals. Now, we're hoping that we can rationalize these terminals and get out of them and cut that cost down.
You mean build new terminals?
Build smaller terminals, more modern terminals, and get terminals out of the congested area in a better part of town where people can park their cars and leave them and take the train and come back and find their cars there.
Do you think this will happen in Dallas eventually?
I hope so. I can't say whether it'll happen or not, but I think it should happen. I'll put it that way.
Well, do you think we'll use the Union Station terminal in the initial stages?
I think we'll have to in the initial stages till we can find some other place or some other terminal to use to take people off and board people on the train.
Is it a money eater like the other terminals you described?
It would if you had to use the entire terminal. Now, I'm hoping that we can just use part of the tunnel just enough to board passengers and all.
Which part would you use?
I would use the Cater Street part, tracks 10 and 11, and use the Cater Street entrance to the tunnel.
One last question. Do you think the days will come back when people can get on the Zephyr and have breakfast while they're riding through Feather Canyon?
Well, we put the California Zephyr through between Denver and Salt Lake City over the DNRGW so that some of our children could see the beauties that some of us older people have seen making the ride you just described.
And they could have the marvelous breakfast
have the marvelous breakfast that we used to have. Of course, we're trying to modernize the breakfasts, and the way it looks now, we'll have the same food served on the trains that they serve on 747